President Trump crime crackdown in Washington, D.C. 1,000 plus arrested.
Jeanine Pirro joins us now. Judge, so explain to us, why is this such an important thing, and how is this EO going to actually work?
Well, first of all, the president, and I just spoke to him, he will be signing this shortly. This is when all of the problems started. If you think about what is going on in this country, it is when this movement started to reduce and eliminate cash bail that all the trouble started. So here in D.C., we've got defendants who are committing violent crimes who are being released out onto the streets. They are reoffending, and they're reoffending again. And this is where the trouble begins. The public is not safe when violent criminals repeatedly prove to us that they are not a risk that we can tolerate anymore, when they are not put in jail. And in the end, the president is recognizing, as part of his Make D.C. Safe and Beautiful, that in order to do that, we've got to get the violent criminals off the street. And the president is literally transforming the safety landscape of Washington, D.C. And last night, we had another 10 guns removed from the street, another 86 arrests. We're up to 1,007 arrests, along with, I believe, 111 guns that have been removed from the street. What does that mean? They can't be used to shoot people, to kill people. And on top of all of that, we've got a government now where the people in D.C. are feeling safer. They know that there is a president who's looking to protect them. D.C. was one of the most violent cities in the world.
The Republicans really care about America. Therefore, President Trump is bringing in federal police to counter Democrats' failure and to save Washington, D.C. from total collapse. Listen in.
And but for President Trump coming in and bringing in our federal partners, the Marshals, ATF, FBI, DEA, Capitol Police, Park Police, we've got a unified force of people and law enforcement who are going into the crime-ridden areas and making a difference. And I'll tell you why it's making a difference. Today is the 12th day without a homicide in Washington, D.C. So far this year, we've had 101 homicides. But for the last 12 days, nothing.
Yep, policing works, Judge. What about these two teenagers that have been released now? They were the ones that are charged for beating up that former DOJ staffer. They were trying to carjack. What's the latest there? Why aren't they behind bars?
Well, you know, it's what I've been talking about since I got here. The truth is that as the United States Attorney, I am both a federal prosecutor and the local DA. These cases that involve those individuals who are 15 and younger, 12 and 13, who assaulted the DOJ staffer and his friend who was in a car trying to avoid being pulled out of the car, the two of them that were taken to family court, where the purpose is rehabilitation, have been released. What a shock. And therein lies the problem. We have got to lower the age of criminal responsibility in Washington, D.C. The gangs and the crews are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I can't touch them. Ainsley, if someone shoots someone with a gun and they're 17 years old and that person does not die, I can't prosecute them. I can't get involved with them. It goes to family court. And you've got, you know, yoga, and you've got ice cream socials, and you've got rehabilitation, and you see it before you in a case of national interest. Beating this DOJ staffer to a pulp, a severe concussion, a broken nose, bloodied to hell and back, and what do? They let them out.
In addition, today, President Trump signed executive order to stop cashless bond for criminals. Watch.
So, and we got to see if that laws are going to change, because I know you're frustrated, but who will change them? How do they get changed?
Well, what the president is doing is the president is proving to the people in D.C. that it can be safe if these laws are enforced. And the president is moving along with all of us in Washington, all of the stakeholders, to make those individuals accountable, even though they are of a lower age group, and bring them into the criminal justice system. And let me just say that in addition to bringing them into the criminal justice system, we want to make sure that there are more judges on the benches. On the bench, the president is putting more judges on the bench. He is moving D.C. It was violent. It continues to be violent, but for what the president is doing.
Subscribe.